Hello, this is Papa321 and this is PHP Object-Oriented Programming Tutorial 3. This one we will be going over interfaces and how they might be useful when you have a large array of other objects. So let's just say we have an array here which I haven't really specified what's going to go in it yet. But what I plan to do is to say that I have an interface called, I guess, person, which will have a method called, let's see here, it will be named my name, and another one called my position. So I'm going to make two classes which will extend this person interface, or implement it really, to be more correct in terminology. So I will say class employee implements, and this implements keyword means, okay, I'm going to bring in an interface which I will use all the functions in which it says I need to use. So I'll say public function my name, and I will return happy employee. And I'm going to say public function my position, and I will say return lowly jail cleaner. Let's see here. Let's put in the jail cell cleaner. There we go. So we have a happy employee. Why don't I just copy and paste this class and rename a few things? So I'll actually do 3. And as you can see, it's doing red underlines because it already has that name in there, and you're not supposed to like replace classes in that manner. So I will say executive is a happy executive. You know what? I'm going to do something very interesting here. Okay, instead of explicitly saying what the name is there, I'm going to say dot UC first, and inside that I'm going to put in underscore underscore class. And I'm just going to copy this over and paste it in here as well. Apparently I did the whole line, so hold on. So now I'm going to say this one is a unemployed I'm going to say happily unemployed there. So what I've done here is that this UCFirst function will actually take whatever parameters I put into it, and it will capitalize the first character, uppercase character first, just so it means. And this class here is called a magic constant, which will the PHP interpreter will put in, and these are called magic because they are not specifically defined, or you're not supposed to define them. The PHP interpreter will figure out what it's supposed to be based on the context of where it lies. So it's supposed to look up, okay, what class am I in? It will look at employee. So I will say, hi guy with a desk here, and position currently outside an alley in a box. Okay, so we now have employees, executives, and unemployed people. So what I can now do is I can stick objects that I create here that implement this person object, and I can then, what will happen is I can put it in a form where I might lose what specific type it is. For example, if it's unemployed versus executive, but I can retain whether or not it's a person. So if I say, let's just create some new people here. Exec1 equals new executive. Actually, since I'm not specifying anything specific for any executive, I'll just say new executive. And unem equals new unemployed, and employed equals new employee. And let's just make another one just for the heck of it. So now I'm going to say let's put in some people into our array. So I'm going to say the array adds the unemployed person first, and then the array adds the employed person first next, and then the array adds, and I'm just doing this in random order, the executive, and the array adds the employed too. So when I do something like for each array as person, well, if I try to say anything about this person object, well, I get all these things here because NetBeans is able to detect what kind of things have gone into it because it's of its own intelligence. But when you are in a more global system where this kind of information comes from other included pages or completely dynamically created through databases, so you don't even know if you have, I mean, you might have executives and you might have employees, but you might not have unemployed people. But what I can say is if my person here is an instance of person, then I can say person has, well, it's still selecting these things here, but basically I know that at this point my person object should be an instance of person. Now, instance of does not refer to only classes, but pretty much object types, like an interface, which does not have any code itself, but it does have functions which you can refer to the things that implement it. So I'm going to say echo this dot person position and a new line, and I'll echo a new line here because of how Unix terminals work. So I'll save PHP main.php. Okay, looks like I need to navigate to my, let's see here. Yeah, I need to navigate to my directory for where the PHP file is, as it must have not done it automatically. So let's see here. Let's see the code. Let's see here. 3. Okay. So let's see here. PHP main.php. Happily unemployed, currently outside in an alley in a box. Happy employee, lowly gel to sell cleaner. Happy executive, and so on. So as you can see, I have a selection of objects which are all person things. Now, if this were of a more strongly casted language like Java or C++, this is a very necessary thing to do because we don't know if it is a person or not. So, for example, I can, I guess, emulate what happens when you do not have a person. So let's say array equals I like tacos. And let's try to run this code. Fatal error, call to member function my name on non-object. This is a primitive in PHP, a string, and is not an object. So let's just say new DOM document. Let's not care about these variables here. So what if I grab in something that's totally not a person? A DOM document, document object model document. It says undefined method document my name. So as you can kind of see here, that the DOM document object does not have this. So in strongly casted languages, it's best that you check the instance of your objects so you do not get fatal errors which will kill your page. So that's the basic on interfaces and how they might be useful. So for example, think of it like this. If you have a large website and you have an interface for languages, like let's just say basic things like hello or greeting message, things like posted, like if you're on a forum, they're going to have different locales which you can select, and the implementations of such vary from several arrays to objects. I have not personally seen an object implementation, but I can see where it can be useful because you can say, okay, so anybody who wants to add a language has to follow all of these things so I don't get null reference or index not found or whatever kind of things, because it's best to code in a way that you don't have PHP notices. I apologize for some of my past tutorials, which if you try running it and your server gives you what you think are errors, there are actually notices when it says notice or a warning. But I'm going to start trying to not have that happen in the future so you can understand and do good code concepts. I personally will do my best to never have such things. So to recap on what this tutorial has, I've used the magic constant for the class with this. With UC first, which capitalizes the first letter, and I just add it to the string which is in the function. So in a way, I could actually create an abstract class called person and have this function in there, but this myPosition would have to be an abstract function, meaning that anything that implements this, I guess, person abstract class would have to define the myPosition function, but not necessarily have to define the myName because it will inherit it from this abstract class. So an abstract class is kind of like the twin interface and a class, because abstract classes you have to implement certain things, but here's the name and here's maybe what it should be returning, but an interface only says, okay, here's the properties and functions you need to implement, but we're not going to put any code in there. And classes, of course, are all code which may implement or extend other objects. So I hope you found this useful. My website is clawpaw321.com, so I guess I can throw in Chrome here for a second here. And I have also a YouTube channel which you can subscribe to, which I will try to weekly put on posts. And by the way, I'm almost 150 subscribers, woohoo! So my website is clawpaw321.com/php-tutorials for these tutorials. In these tutorials, I will provide a small explanation of what the goal of the tutorial is, the source code of that, and what everything means in text for the things I may not have covered in the video. These pages are meant to be supplementary for the videos because I hope the videos are completely self-contained and will help you learn. But if you need to understand more things, please visit my website. Also, there is a subscribe mailing list which you can join, and you'll be notified whenever I do upload a video and post a tutorial on it. So this is called the 321. I wish you the best. Have a good day.